Hello, everybody. Today I'm going to be talking about Spy Family pre-orders for English Weiss Schwarz. I'm going to be looking at Meister Sets because as part of the English release for Spy Family, they are including that product. It has come out before. Some people ask me what this is. Next, Musume booster box drop rates. I've been hearing 9SP and 9 OFR. What the heck is Japanese Weiss Schwarz doing? Yes, it does come out this Friday. And yes, there have been people opening it already, but you know what? This is what happens. It's a fact of life at this point. Finally, for my members only video, I'm going to be talking more about Meister Sets, taking a look at pricing on avatars, since that's been pretty interesting. But first up, out here on Facebook, Weiss Schwarz is talking about Bushiroad Rumble Online 2023 recap. Why do I want to know this? Is because obviously with playability comes card pricing. So your recap basically is this. There was a tournament online, 3 different regions. Weiss Schwarz winners happen to be Sword Art Online, Alice Deck, Sword Art Online, Alice Deck, Sword Art Online, Alice Deck. That is not me looping my voice over and over again. That is literally what happened. So out here on Weiss Tea Time, there is this Japanese ban list update that just happened recently. And in the bottom left, you are going to see Alice down here for Sword Art Online and a choice restriction taking place. How will this play out on pricing? We'll find out, but I imagine this is coming to English very soon, very soon. Now, Weiss Schwarz Spy Family English pre-orders happening July 21st. That is the deadline. The release of the Japanese one is actually July 21st. So keep that date in mind, July 21st. So if you want the Japanese one, it's coming out that date. If you want the English one, that is your deadline. Now, people have asked me in the past, where do I pre-order from? Most of the time, majority of the time, it's going to be Hammer Girl Anime. I trust this place. I recommended it to people. I try out other stores as well just to see if I can find other places I can recommend to people. This one has always been solid for me. I am not sponsored in any way. They have reached out before to thank me for recommending others to this website. They wanted to mail me something. So I will say that part, right? Again, not officially sponsored, but they have reached out to me previously. So if you are kind enough, if you do buy from this website, just let them know that I sent you, okay? Now, it's not up here on this website yet for the pre-orders for Spy Family. By the way, look at how many pre-orders on here. Every one of these banners are pre-orders, but it will be up there eventually. I know other stores do have it up for sale, so if you don't have an LGS, try out Hammer Girl Anime, very trustworthy. Now, booster box, trial deck, and a Meister set is what's going up for sale. This set officially comes out on January 26, 2024. Notice the date, because there is something else down here. Please note that the trial deck and booster pack will be having pre-sales at Anime Festival Asia 2023 and Anime NYC 2023. I didn't look up the date of Anime Festival Asia 2023, but out here on the Bushiroad On the Road 2023 site, you do have right here Anime NYC November 17th through the 19th. And when you think about that date and look back at when this is officially coming out for English Weiss Schwarz, January 26th, that is a toll 2 months ahead of time. That is insane. I do not like this, right? I can go to the Anime NYC one. There's tickets still available. If you have not gotten any yet, you're still able to pick some up. I don't like this thought that people can get stuff ahead of time and potentially turn around and flip it for higher prices because nobody else can get it. Same thing is happening with Anime Expo July 1st through the 4th. You will have your first shot of seeing Hololive 2 coming out, and it's not so bad. Hololive comes out in August. This convention happens July 1st, so it's a whole 1 month ahead of time. But think about Spy Family, 2 freaking months ahead, and that's if let's see, Anime NYC happens before Anime Festival Asia. I don't know when this one happens. I didn't bother looking it up. 2 months is egregious enough. I mean, if Anime Festival Asia happens 3 months ahead of time, that's even worse. So right here with the booster box, just so you know, it's exactly the same as we see it right now as the Japanese release. You are going to get signatures for, let's see who we got. We got Lloyd, Anya, Yor, Sylvia, Becky, and Fiona. What you will not get inside of the trial deck, which matches the Japanese release, there are no signatures inside of the trial deck. You're going to get hot stamp cards of Lloyd, Anya, and Yor as a family together. So just keep that in mind when you're purchasing this. That is interesting. I just thought about this now. Like, if you wanted to wait for the release of the Japanese side, right? Follow me on this one. I didn't think about this before. July 21st, and you were iffy about the trial deck prices, you can always wait and purchase it after you see it come out, because obviously the prices for the Japanese side is going to come up that Thursday night for us in the United States. And then before the pre-order deadline happens, you could see and be like, okay, maybe I only want 1, 2, 3 trial decks instead of buying a whole case of them. So that'll be interesting to see how that one plays out. That's probably some bad timing. They probably would have wanted the pre-orders for the English side before that date actually happens. Anyways, moving on. Meister Set, Spy Family. What's inside of this thing? It is chock full of goodness. You have 1 rubber playmat, 1 storage box, 10 booster packs, 1 special PR pack. Now, if you have not seen a Meister Set yet, I actually did an opening of the Haruhi one. So it was a birthday gift to myself. These things are somewhat pricey, even though I didn't buy mine for a crazy price. I got it before everybody else realized that these things were really nice. So out here you could see in this flashy video is you could see packs. You could see that deck box, the rubber mats inside of it, and the PR pack is inside of there as well, the PR card that was in it. Okay, so you do have some really nice stuff in it. This is not the first Meister set. If you come out to TCG Player, you could see there were other sets that also had Meister sets, and people do piece it out, try to sell parts of it. So that is something that you can look forward to. The main thing I want to point out here, and this is something Bushiroad, Weiss Schwarz, I hope they fix one day. You could see 1x special PR pack. I would really love it if they say exclusive. Like, you could only get the card exclusively inside of this Meister set. Because can you imagine if you don't purchase this, there's not a ton of these out there like the supply sets, and there's a PR inside of here that you can only get from this. So you have to consider that when you go to actually pre-order your stuff. Do you want trial decks? Do you want booster boxes? Do you want the Meister set that which comes with this special PR pack? I don't know, because we're not going to know what's inside of this thing. Now, why I bring this up is because recently we've seen Avatar: The Last Airbender, and Avatar had a supply set, and the supply set included 1 of 5 exclusive design special PR pack. When I say that exclusive, I really want them to say you can only get this card from this supply set, or this from the Meister set. I really want a sentence that actually says that. What was inside of the supply set for Avatar was the booster box promos in foil. What you got with Attack on Titan was the tournament store PR pack, right? So this wasn't like exclusive. You were able to obtain that from a tournament store by purchasing product. And you can see what they wrote down here. 3 normal plus 1 foil of 10 exclusive designs. That's not enough of a description for me. And lastly, we had this Ruby supply set. So what happened with this one was you had an alt art version of the booster box PR cards, which was really cool. It did really well. So it'd be nice to know ahead of time about this Meister set. Is it just going to be a foil version? Is it going to be one of those Japanese magazine promos? I know they've been using those magazine promos in some store PR tournaments and all that good stuff. But it would be really nice to know ahead of time what this actually is, so you can pre-order accordingly. But that is, I would say, the one wild card inside of this Meister set. Outside of it just being a really cool set. I think it's one of those ones that if you know somebody that wants to play or just really like Spy Family, it's a nice for players. It's a nice thing for seal collectors and card collectors. Okay, now flipping forward, we're going to be talking about Japanese Weiss Schwarz, Musume, Pretty Derby. This comes out this Friday. Yes, obviously people have opened it. I've heard about the drop rate. Again, when I talk about this, at some point, these are just estimates. When more of these cases are open and people confirm it, then we could say, okay, it seems like this is the drop rate. But as of right now, 9 SP, 9 OFR. The cards look like this. There's a whole lot of repetition between the cards. You can see this here. This is an example of a, what do we got here? Double rare and an OFR. We got a double rare, OFR, and here is your rare plus signature. So they all got this sort of going on. So let me just show you this. So again, here is a double rare. It does look really nice. And then your OFR, which is used the same image, but we drop the box, we get some foiling. With your SPs, what you got here is your uncommon, which has these streaks of light. I guess it's almost like they're running, or maybe you just got some lasers off to the side of them. And then this is what you have for the SP. So they all basically follow this pattern, where the OFR has some really nice picture going on here, not as generic. And then what you got here with the SP versions is a generic sort of laser-like card, and then this right here. Whatever you want to call this. I wasn't very inspired by what I was seeing, honestly, and this reminded me of Hollow Live, both from, let's say, the look of some of the SPs and the cards, and to what I expect to happen with the pricing. So Hollow Live was very interesting because if you take a look here, there were 51 SPs in it. I believe there were 4 SPs per case. And when you take a look at this, the pricing of it, this is what I imagine Musume is going to do, because going back to Musume, there are 70 SPs. And if you do the math, 9 SPs inside of a case, then you're roughly getting about the same Hollow Live drop rate. It's not the same, but it's close enough. So you're going to have some cards that are fairly expensive. You're going to have some cards that are fairly cheap. And that's definitely going to happen. Will it sell out as much as it did with Hollow Live? Who knows, really? Will it get reprinted? Who knows, really? But what I'm going to show you here is this right here. This is a graphic. I know what you see on the screen is Hollow Live, but follow with me. This is actually a representation of Musume, what I've been hearing about the drop rates. Again, it could change, it could be totally wrong, but this is what I've heard so far. So I just got too lazy and I put an image of Musume in the background. So ignore the VTubers, act like they got horse ears, and now we have Musume. So again, 9 SP, 9 OFR. What I've heard, which was the more interesting part about all of this, was the fact that there are 8 boxes with SPs and 8 boxes with OFRs. In the left-hand side, you're going to see a black box. That says 4SR. In the bottom left, you'll see a green and a blue box. So that is an SP and OFR. I actually heard this, that one of the boxes will have an SP and OFR in it. So when you think about this, and then one has 4SR, which is insane to me. I don't understand it. First, when I heard it, I thought it was basically a error, a complete error, like production error. But that's what they say cases are going to be like. That's what I'm going with for now. It doesn't make sense to me outside of, like the explanation that I got was potentially Bushiroad is doing this to decrease the chances of dead packs, right? Because if you think that you're done and there's actually an SP and OFR box out there, that means you're going to have to open it all to get max value of it, right? If you open it and you get an OFR and stop there, there's that potential that there is still an SP inside of it, right? But at the same time, the crazy part to me is like, why would you be doing that? Because now you're leaving somebody with one box that actually has 4SR inside of it. Like when you think about the drop rate as it's shown on the screen, 9 OFR and 9 SP, that, like, why even bother doing that? Do that on a set that has, you know, like a drop rate like Hololive, which was 4 SP and 1 SSP, right? Like, why don't you do it in that one? Throw one in there with 2 SPs or something. I don't know. But to me, to do this on Uma Musume, where the drop rate is already 9 SP and 9 OFR, like, why? What's the point? What's the reasoning to that? When you think about pricing, so SPs, obviously, there's going to be some girls. Like you had Gura here, 17,800 for the SP, where you had, where's my Kiara? Kiara, 3980. You know, complete difference. That's what I expect to happen with Uma Musume. But then think about the OFR. This one's fairly interesting as well. There were 70 types of SPs for Uma Musume, but 23 OFRs. If that drop rate is right, and there are 9 OFRs inside of a case, then you're going to have very low pricing on the OFR. You're definitely going to see more repeats of that than the SP, of course, but the value of the OFR shouldn't hold up as much. I almost want to say that's like worse off than triple rares, but who knows really? I don't know. I haven't really thought about this math. I just know when you think about it, when people were talking to me about this, I was like, I don't like the idea of this. Is cool, right? The sellers are gonna love it because when someone goes to buy a box of Uma Musume, you almost feel like you're getting something because you're getting a signature inside of a booster box. Like 50% of the time, roughly 50% of the time, you're gonna be getting an SP or an OFR, so something foily and nice. Will it hold up value? Maybe not, but thinking about that, there's going to be excitement about that. If you're a fan of Uma Musume and you think long term, as in you buy like 4 booster boxes of it and you want to wait like every year you're going to open it, how cool is it to actually think about that potentially you're going to be pulling out an SP out of there? You're going to get an SP. I mean, again, I didn't find them too fancy or like amazing looking, but this isn't too far from what I see here on Hololive with the little triangle with different colors on it. So it's something that happens, but at least this is a little bit brighter, I guess. And if you really love those horse girls, it's cool to actually pull a signature, even though it might not be as expensive. So that is everything. I wonder if they're going to be doing this for future sets to come. I'm not really sure. I think overall it's probably going to hurt more than it helps. Yeah, it might help sellers out, but it demeans the value. It takes away from the value of the actual special foily cards as we've seen and known them, right? So if there is anything else, if you have any other questions, as always, feel free to reach out to me here. There you go. Here's my email. Here's my Twitter. TCG player link is in the description. Please use that for my giveaways. I use the money for the giveaways. And lastly, there's my anime list that I am blocking with my head. So there you go. That would be Bleach again if you don't know what that is. I can't wait for the 1,000-Year Blood War Part 2 happening. Part 2, Season 2, whatever it is, coming out in the summertime. Anyways, as always, have fun, be happy, and don't spend anything outside your budget. Have a good one.